For the past 8 nights, Jewish families worldwide have come together to celebrate Hanukkah. Back in 1985, that is, Chet Curtis brought Chronicle viewers an in-depth look at the cherished Festival of Light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner.
Each night for 8 consecutive nights, the candles of the menorah are lit. It's the heart of the Hanukkah celebration, a festival of light for the Jewish people, and each year it's held to honor the memory of Jews 2,000 years ago who died for the freedom of their faith. A freedom which Syrian leader Epiphanes, ruler of the Palestinians, wanted usurped.
He wanted everybody to observe his religion, the Greek religion, to worship Zeus, and he forbade Jews from worshiping the God of Israel, and he desecrated the temple. And when he did this, a small group of Jews who were under the leadership of a man whose name was Mattathias and his 5 sons began a revolt.
What ensued was a bloody and brutal battle. Sadly, Mattathias died, but his son, Judah Maccabee, quickly stepped in to take his place. And within 3 years, the Maccabees re-entered and reclaimed the temple as their own.
One of the miracles that's associated with Hanukkah is that when the Maccabees came into the temple in Jerusalem, everything had been defiled by the Syrians. They tried to desecrate and ruin the whole place, but they found one cruse of oil that was sealed, that was undefiled, and they lit it because there was always an eternal light that was supposed to be kindled as a symbol of God in the temple.
It's a long time ago, the Jews in the Beit HaMikdash used what? Oil.
But the real miracle lay in the cruse of oil itself. And these children are learning that instead of burning only for 1 day, it actually lasted 8. And now in homes around the world, 8 candles are burned to recall that miracle. And although you might not think it, art is another means of recalling and celebrating that history. That's certainly true for potter Eli Koplow, who makes dreidels, a toy-like top traditionally played with on Hanukkah. But 2,000 years ago, the dreidel served as more than a game. Jews actually used them to distract Syrian soldiers while secretly practicing their faith.
For centuries in many countries, the dreidel is one of the children's favorite toys.
The Festival Lady is another of Eli's creations, and depending on the Jewish holiday, she fills her basket with miniature symbols.
This month is Hanukkah, and so she has a dreidel, she has the menorah, she has a potato latke, a real one, and these coins that represent the time of giving.
The potato latkes Eli mentioned are a time-honored Hanukkah tradition, and every night during the 8-day celebration, Denise prepares them for her family as part of their Hanukkah feast.
They develop the potato pancake and they fry it in oil to remind us of what happened in the old days when the temple had to be rededicated and they only found a little bit of oil, and that was just enough to last 1 day, but somehow that oil lasted 8 days. It's a very special time for all of us. It's a time of togetherness, and it's a time of renewal and continuing of tradition, something that happened in my family when I was growing up.
And that spirit reflects itself in a song sung by the children of the Solomon Schechter Day School.
And that segment featured the late Rabbi Samuel Cheel, who was the longtime leader of Temple Emmanuel in Newton. In addition to being a spiritual leader, he was a devoted civil rights activist. Rabbi Cheel passed away in 2013.